Hey, y'all. We are here on Southern Renaissance. I am proud to have again my best bud right here, Jason Sims, on the show. I had so much fun on the very first episode. We wanted to have him come back because we have a good old time just talking nonsense. And Jason, thanks for being on the show today.
Who has
Oh,
disturbed my undying slumber? Oh, hey Tony, how are you? It's just
oh,
Tony.
yeah, you're still alive.
I
That's
was about
good.
to, I was about to hex you. Then I realized it was
Oh,
you.
Oh man, yeah. I
Yeah.
probably deserve it. Yeah.
Nah. You're good. You're a good fella.
Well, you are looking quite
Oh my
dapper
goodness,
today,
thank you. Look,
man.
I've entered my. I don't know if you've heard this, but I've entered my bolo tie era.
Bolo tie era. I
Yeah.
like it. It's a
This
good
uh,
look.
this bolo tie actually belonged to the grandfather of my girlfriend.
Cool.
He was a like an engineer, and he's an interesting dude.
Nice.
I would suggest that you have him on the podcast, but you can't because he's no longer with us. But he was a real
I got
interesting
you.
sounding dude.
I
Yeah,
got you. Well, we could do a
he was from
seance or
Texas. Though.
something.
He was from Texas originally, which is why this.
I was gonna say, man, you look like an oil man.
Look, I'm coming to swindle you out of your. It's like, my name's Daniel Plainview, and I'm an oil man.
That's right.
Yeah.
I can tell, man. I knew it.
Look, only the finest rosé and bolo ties. That's what I'm all about in 2023, going into 2024.
I've got my just water in my red cup. It's actually a Listen Local Huntsville branded cup.
Oh my
Shout out
goodness!
to them.
I
Yeah,
heard that Huntsville is a music city. That's what I've been hearing.
I heard that
Word
it
on the
is.
street.
I will say it will be. Let's see. This should air Friday, and I'll be playing Friday night at
Oh
Shag
wow.
Nasty's. What a name! I don't know anything about it. I just saw that
Yeah.
it had Nasty in the name, so I was like, I
You're like,
better
I
play
gotta
that.
be there. I
Yeah, I just
gotta be
gotta.
there.
I gotta be there.
Yeah, Friday we'll actually be having our Thanksgiving on Friday. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Cool.
So
Cool.
just know that I'm probably full of turkey when you're watching this. Not
Well,
right now. I'm not.
you're actually full of. Well, I'm a
I'm,
vegetarian, so I don't
oh,
appreciate you
well,
people.
that's okay. That's all right. I could be vegetarian if I ate Indian food every day.
Yeah. Oh,
But
see, that's the thing. I
yeah.
don't like Indian food. Like it makes me
Wow.
violently ill.
Well, that's a good reason not to like it. I can never be vegan because I like cheese too much.
Yeah. That's the hard part. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I could be vegan. Maybe
Yeah, it's
one day,
tough.
but yeah, the
You also
cheese
like
thing,
leather because you're a street tough.
leather.
You're a
I
street
wear.
tough.
I am a street
Yeah.
tough. I won't deny that.
Well, you can't.
Country,
It cannot be
country tough.
denied. The country tough. Anyway, I don't mean to hijack your podcast.
No,
I
no.
just
This is a conversation,
but I
man.
got
This
dressed
is a
up. I got dressed up.
dude.
This blazer I got it at the Top Key Market in Huntsville, Alabama for $2.
Oh man,
Best
two
$2 I ever
bucks.
spent. Yeah, it's wool
That's a good buy,
and it
man.
fits
Two
me.
bucks.
Yeah, my goodness.
I
Yeah.
mean, you can't even get a
You,
Coca
you
Cola for
barely
$2
you can
anymore.
barely get a cheeseburger for $2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Dad always would talk about getting a RC cola and a moon pie and like go see the movie for like 25 cents and have a nickel left over.
You know what? And you buy a car with it. Put a
Yeah,
down payment
yeah,
on a house with it.
yeah,
Back then.
exactly.
My dad used to like to take the old glass bottle Coca-Colas.
Yeah.
And full disclosure, I actually, unironically, without meaning to, the other day pronounced Coca-Cola as Coca-Cola. Like it's in my DNA that happened.
Yeah. I
Uh,
know.
but my dad used to take those and put peanuts in them
Oh
and
yeah,
just
I've heard
drink
of
the.
doing
I'm
that.
just disgusted. My girlfriend, she's across the room. My girlfriend Erin is disgusted by this prospect. I don't
Yeah,
do that.
that's
I don't
that's
do
not
that,
my
but he
thing.
did that.
You're like, I didn't do it. Don't blame me.
Don't blame me. Anyhow, I let you. You're the captain of this ship, so just
No, man, no. Listen. I always thought that was kind of weird. I never did that. That was never my thing.
what the Coca-Cola and the peanuts? No, I never.
Yeah,
I
the
don't think. I think I might have
Coca-Cola.
done it once out of curiosity,
I
like
mean,
you
I
do.
might have dipped some nuts in there, but I mean, they. I don't think. But yeah. So I never done that, man.
You should do it.
Well, hey, man, I
Do it
know
in the new
you had.
year. I want you. I challenge you to do that in the new year and let me know how it goes.
Just wait till the ball
Yeah,
drops. It's gonna
when the ball
right.
drops, the peanuts go in.
The peanuts don't stop.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know,
I need to
Tony.
work for the Dick Clark organization.
Hey, thank you for having me on again. Am I the first double dipper here on the
You are. You're the
podcast?
first double dipper.
Wow.
Speaking of the balls dropping, yeah. So we got a theme.
I keep shaking the camera. I apologize.
Yeah, I know, man. You're nervous.
Boom, boom,
You've not
shake the
talked to
room.
me before.
That's what I say. Look, I'm intimidated to meet Tony Purdue.
Yeah, we've never talked.
Yeah, we've never talked before.
Like
we've not known each other for 30 years.
a
Anyway,
billion times.
I feel like I'm stopping you from starting your podcast, so please start it.
No, I love it, man. I don't. This is what I wanted to do because
What if we never start the podcast? What if we just do this?
We've technically started it, but it's
Okay.
sort of like a yeah.
Preamble.
I wanted to
I'm gonna take a
freestyle this
picture of
one.
us. There we go.
Yeah,
That's
take a
good.
picture.
There we go.
Take a picture.
It'll last longer.
90s people. Look at that. Look how meta that is.
Look at that. It's a picture of the
A picture.
podcast on the podcast.
If we could get some video feedback going on, that'd be
Yeah.
pretty sweet. Sick.
It'd be like the old days, the video
The old
toaster days.
Day,
Anyway,
Tales
what
of
you
the
got-
Flip Shark.
What you got? What you got on tap there, TP?
You still filming? So I was going to ask you. You had COVID, man. Are you feeling better?
It finally got me. Like,
Yeah.
let me tell you this. In 2020, I moved to the most densely populated segment of the country. I moved to Philadelphia, and I lived in Jersey.
Yeah.
Jersey's the most densely populated state in the Union. Manhattan's the most densely populated area, but like the most densely populated state is Jersey. I did not get, as far as I know, I could have had it, been asymptomatic, but as far as I know, I never got it. I was in Manhattan the week that Omicron dropped. That like 1 in 10 people in
It's
Manhattan
a great
got it.
album.
Omicron it was the jam of the summer. But no, I went to see the Nutcracker at the ballet. I was in Penn Station. I went down to Rockefeller Center, saw the tree, went and saw an off-Broadway play.
I'm really surprised that
Didn't get it.
you didn't get it because from what I understand, I remember you telling me that you open mouth kissed about every fifth person you saw.
Well, just every fifth or sixth, depending.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah,
I
if
don't want
there's
to
chemistry,
exaggerate, but
If there's chemistry, it would be every fifth, but every now and then I just anyhow. But no, so I don't know how I didn't get it. My girlfriend and I, we both got it at the same time, which was convenient because we could quarantine. It's very romantic. If you've never quarantined with a loved one, please try it out. But no, it's so. But thankfully, thank everything, I was vaccinated, and so my case was fairly mild. I had some fatigue.
That's good.
And I had a little shortness of breath, but other than that, I was fine.
Okay.
Like I was really fine other than that. So
that's good.
Very thankful for that because COVID is no joke. It's nothing to play around with.
Nothing to sneeze at.
Nothing to sneeze at. That's right.
Sorry.
But no, but I was thankful I was vaccinated. So if you're not vaccinated, like I'm going to convince somebody 3 years after the pandemic started to get vaccinated.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway.
I know it's important, but it's funny how we become desensitized to that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, I've heard it. I don't care.
Yeah, I've heard it. Yeah. But anyway, I'm just saying I was thankful that I had been vaccinated when I had it. And I'm going to, whenever I get past the period where I can get the other shots, I'm probably going to go ahead and get them because I think it's a good idea. I mean, I'm definitely going to go ahead and get them.
Yeah,
but,
man.
What's that?
First show.
Just one more shot. What if I come in with a fake mustache on? Will they give me another one?
They're just giving you the same
I
one.
want to get like 12 of them just to be safe.
Somehow, I wonder if you just kept getting them, if you would somehow mix in with like a COVID virus and become some sort of like super creature.
Get violently ill. I'm thinking if you kept getting them, you got like 12 COVID shots.
Because it's something to do with your RNA.
Let's just see what happens.
Just create a mutation. Yeah, I mean, we could come up with some creative disguises.
COVID man. I don't know. Anyhow, no, I did have COVID, but thankfully, what's that now? I get a better cell signal. Get boost your 5G.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, you didn't even have any bad symptoms like a swollen perineum or anything like that.
I didn't check my perineum, so I don't know.
Well, you should have.
I'm not sure what a perineum is.
It's the area between the ball sack and the a-hole.
Oh, you mean the gooch? The
gooch, yeah, that's the more
I think my gooch was
street
fine.
term.
Also known as the taint. Yes, I like to call it a gooch.
Yeah, the taint is probably my favorite, but
Yeah,
perennium
but
sounds more,
I'm
scientific.
from Coleman, and there we refer to it as a gooch, just like it is in
Okay.
the King James version of the Bible.
King James.
We're
Jesus
King James
wept.
only. We're King James only. There's some stuff in. I'm sure in Genesis there's something about a gooch. There has to be
Well, I'm pretty sure I've read that
somewhere in
even
the Old
in the
Testament.
Apocrypha.
Yeah, I think it's in the Apocrypha. Yeah,
There's some extra little perennium tidbits. It's a good punk band name.
Perennium Tidbits would be a good funk band name. But anyway,
Or a good album name.
It would be.
Or a good biopic.
The GG Allin story.
GG Allin. Do it on like Lifetime or the Hallmark channel. That would actually be pretty good because you would have to cut out all the really bad parts. So it would just be him having regular conversations.
You know what I would love to write? I would love to write a Hallmark movie, like a Hallmark movie that was set in like the punk scene that involved a couple meeting at a GG Allin show.
That would be great.
Like maybe one of them, like about the drummer for the Murder Junkies, the guy that performed with no clothes on.
I think it would be funnier than like actually a real story where they're saying all that, like because they couldn't say it. They would be like,
it would all be Hallmarkized. Yeah, you would be able to curse in it, and
we've really developed a romance here.
Here on this tour.
It's just, yeah, I could see that, man.
And like the drummer goes to Gigi to get advice. Man, I think I'm having feelings for this girl. And Gigi's like, just follow your heart, man.
just follow your heart. Got that weird mustache. Yeah, I could see that.
I think I had a whole movie
the part where he ODs on the heroin or whatever. He had just had too much Christmas candy or something.
You have to, and he wakes up the next day and he's fine. Yeah, he wakes up the next day and he's fine because it's all Hallmarkized. Yeah.
Yep. That's perfect, man.
Did you have any idea that how far are we into this thing? That we'd be talking about GG Allin at this point in the podcast?
I didn't, but I knew it would go downhill quick, and that's why I wanted to have you on here again, man.
Thank you. It has to be. I can always provide that for you.
That's right. You can always pull my life into the ditch. That's what.
So anyway, COVID. I'm okay.
You're A-okay. The perennium is smooth as a baby's butt. Wait. Oh yeah. I forget like things
you can't
like
do
culture.
Anything anymore.
I know culture changes, and then oh no, that means that now, and it's like whoops.
And I don't mean to be one of those guys who are like, you're going to get canceled if you do anything, but like legit, like I just did the OK symbol. And I remembered that's a thing.
Right.
You can't.
Yeah,
do.
yeah. I know you have to
because especially a guy that looks like me. What was that, baby?
Right.
I'm from and also from Coleman.
Also
I got blue eyes. A middle-aged white guy. I'm wearing a Bolo tie. What's going on?
What's happened?
I am drinking rosé. Can I tell you a thing that happened to me work at day real quick?
Absolutely, yes.
And then you have other questions, though, right? I
got a few, but this is not like anything set in stone.
So I actually,
we'll do a 5-hour podcast.
So during the holidays, there's some like workplace stuff gets shifted around or whatever. So like, there's this girl who works at my work. That was redundant, but she usually works out I rent cars for it. Despite my fancy dress, I'm not an oil man or a real estate mogul. I rent cars for a living.
That's cool.
And for a company that shall not be named. But
Cthulhu
yeah,
cars.
It's Cthulhu car rentals. Yeah, Miskatonic car rentals. We have these cars that drive at impossible geometrical angles.
I'm like sliding down, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sliders.
I'm turning into the pudding.
Hey, get comfortable. Get comfortable there, Tony. You need to use that as your little clip that you put on Instagram where you're doing that little dance.
Throwing a fit and
crashing around.
Like no context.
No. Just can you imagine me with the bolo tie and you're just having a fit? So anyway, they moved this girl. They brought her inside. She usually works in the booth and outside where people drop off cars and pick up. It's a whole thing. I'm not going to go into this. She usually works in a different place. So she comes in and she's working the counter. And another coworker asked me what I'm doing for Thanksgiving, and I mentioned my girlfriend's family's having Thanksgiving this day, whatever. And she
Mm-hmm.
turns around and she swivels her head around. She looks at me. She's like, "I thought you were gay." And I'm like, "Well, I don't take that as an insult at all. But no, I'm very very straight. I have a girlfriend, I have 2 kids or
Yeah.
whatever." And she's like, "Yeah, out in the booth, like we're like." When we're talking about the people inside, we're like, which one, the gay one? So apparently, in the booth, they call me the gay one, which again,
Oh, okay.
I take no umbrage at. I almost
Yeah,
take
it
that as a
doesn't matter.
compliment in Alabama. But
Right.
like,
Right. Means you're creative,
it
or
means you can read.
you can
You're creative
read.
and you can read. and well, I do talk with my hands.
Yeah,
Is
I
that?
do too.
But that's just more Mediterranean.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so Huntsville doesn't go to because I feel like I have no Mediterranean heritage genetically, but I
Okay.
think spiritually,
Yeah.
I'm drinking rosé.
Yeah. Well, I've drenched myself in olive oil before I came on here.
Well, I asked you to do that, or I wouldn't be on the show.
So yeah,
I was like,
that
please
just
ritually purify yourself with olive oil.
that was given. I was like, of course.
Of course. So anyway, that was that was
No.
just a thing that happened. I don't know if it's funny.
That was
It's a
fun.
slice of life.
It's a slice of American apple pie.
Ain't that America? But anyway, you gotta ask your next question there, Tony Purdue. I'll talk with my hands all day long.
Talk with me, yeah.
Talk to the hands.
Talk to the hands.
Because
so I've heard of this guy. Who is Jason Sims? I've been studying James Lipton on these questions.
Who is? Did we not cover that the first time?
Sims? Well, I asked who Booty Chef was.
Oh,
now
okay.
we're
that's like asking
even...
like who's Batman, and then who's Bruce Wayne.
Exactly.
You know what? So... I don't know, to be honest with you. Jason Sims is a thing that every few years it cracks open like an egg and another one slithers out. But
like it.
It's always got a little bit of that same core to it.
You just shed your skin and turn into an oil man. You never know.
There's some sense in which I'm the same person I would like from my earliest memories, like when I remember having an inner dialogue. Yeah. Like that guy's still in there, like he's grown up or whatever. But then like the external, like the accidents, like to put it in Aristotelian language, because I know that's what you like to deal in, Tony.
Yeah, I mean that just goes without saying.
The accidents of me, which is like the fact I'm wearing a bolo tie rather than a dog collar, or that I'm wearing a wool blazer. You'll understand this, rather than like a dirtbag black denim jacket. Those are accidents. Those things change. Those things are whatever. Yeah. But the and now I can't remember what the other thing is called. The accidents and the substance.
Je ne sais quoi.
It's a substance. Baby, you're smart. What is it? And it's like in theology, like where you have the accidents and the substance. This is like the same way they talk about communion in the Catholic Church. You have the accidents, which is the appearance of bread and wine, but the substance is the body and blood of Christ.
That's what is that called?
Yeah, that's the substance. I think it's what they call it. Okay. But so, like the substance remains the same. There's this.
Okay.
Yeah, the essential, the essence, the substance. So there's something essential about me that I think that continues through these different incarnations, and then, but whatever. But like. All this stuff is just theater and set dressing, and it's silly. It's just fun. You.
Yeah, and you're made of essential oils.
Yeah, made of essential oils. So like I think you and I probably have that in common, because there's like you've had a lot of kind of like stylistic in your music, stylistic changes, and kind of like aesthetic changes in the way you dress or whatever.
Oh,
but
sure.
Like when we get together, it's still almost like we're hanging out at the train bridge.
Yeah.
In Coleman.
Yeah,
there's
even
still
just
some
on
of
this
that
fancy little,
there's still some
device.
Of that always there. And
that's right.
You know, I'm very fortunate that I've had some of the same friends for a long period of time, because they kind of really know who you are. Those people who you've known.
It's
and
really,
there's some people I think you meet and you kind of know who each other are like quickly, but it's good to have those people you've been there like the lifers.
Yeah,
that you've had
definitely.
There, yeah.
That's for sure, man. Yeah, on all seriousness, that is a cool thing, because a lot of people think they know you, but they don't really know you
Let me
in a
ask you.
biblical sense, like
Yes.
you do.
Well, speaking of the Bible, let me ask you. Jesus asked his disciples, "Who do you say I am?" And not to put myself, not to say that I'm a Messiah.
You're not saying you're the great I am.
I'm not saying I am. I would never say that. It'd be
Okay.
unseemly for me to say that. But
That's
who do you,
right.
as somebody that's known me for a long time, who would you say Jason Sims? How would you answer that question? Who's Jason Sims?
Okay.
Because I don't know
would
how to
say-
answer it.
Yeah, I would say you are a very thoughtful, intelligent,
Oh,
creative person
oh my
with
goodness.
a good heart.
I'm blushing.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. I mean, I'm glad you could say that. And I would say exactly the same thing about you.
Yeah. Well, that's not what I heard you talking about.
Big boy.
Big
Bring
boy.
it on.
Get ready for it.
Get ready for it. That's what big boy, get ready for it. That's a deep cut.
Yeah, that's a deep cut. That's a reference to, but we did talk about that on
I think
the
we did.
first episode.
So
thankfully.
go back.
So there is records, so
Yeah,
I
go
don't have to
back.
necessarily.
Look, if you didn't hear the first episode of Southern Renaissance, go back and listen to it.
It gets weird.
It gets weird. Anyway, so that's. I mean, I don't. I mean, there's not really much. I mean, I think people are both very complex and very simple.
Yeah.
You know, like at the end of the day, like I'm just a little fella trying to get through life. That's what I am.
I got you.
Yeah.
I feel you. I'm with you on that, man.
Yeah.
Well, I just what music you've been listening to lately?
Oh wow, that's a good question. I have a 32-hour playlist on Spotify.
All right. Polka core.
Yeah, it's all polka core. No, it's everything. It's like basically what the inside of my brain sounds like. But I'm trying to think what's been attracting my attention. I tell you what I did about a month ago, and it kind of like a little over a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago. I sat on my porch where I used to live in 5 Points, where we did the first episode. Do you remember where we did the first episode?
Yeah, Little Miss Muffet sitting on a tuffet.
Yeah, I was sitting on my tuffet on the porch there, and my former roommate, he had fixed it really nice, and so I was sitting out there, and it was early fall, and it was still kind of spring light, and I sat out there
swinging.
just a swinging. And I sat out there and I listened to the first two Ben Folds 5 albums back to back. I just sat there and listened to them straight through. Back to back, and that's some good like sad boy music, you know. But it's not like gothy or emo or whatever. But it's it's good sad boy, sensitive boy. I would say sensitive boy music.
Sensitive boy,
and I am
sensitive core.
Yes, it's Sensicore, and I am nothing if I'm not a sensitive
Sensodyne
boy.
toothpaste.
Yo Don Industries.
Yeah.
No, I sat there and listened to that, and that was I enjoyed that. But I've got this weird playlist, and there's all kinds of crap on it, so I'm listening to all kinds of crap all the time. I'm trying to think what's been catching my attention. I don't know. That's probably like the latest like musical memory I have is like just sitting out there and that really a really nice day. Didn't have anything to do. I just sat there and listened to those two albums because a lot of times I don't listen to albums straight through.
Yeah.
But I just sat there and listened to those. There are some bands I can listen to like. There's this band called Jellyfish that I loved.
Okay.
And they only made 2 albums, and I could listen to either of those albums. I could just sit down and listen to them straight through. Weirdly, My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade, I can sit there and listen to that straight through.
Okay.
Which is kind of the opposite of Jellyfish.
Yeah.
But also weirdly like Jellyfish because a lot of the same influences as Jellyfish.
Do you ever pee on yourself if you get some jellyfish sting?
I don't want to get into my personal life.
Oh, my bad.
In that way. No, it was a joke. I got a look when I said I don't want to get into my personal life. No, I'll get into my personal life, but like the way I described the Black Parade album is that's like if you like Queen and you think about death every day, that's a good album for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that sounds like I need to check
that's the
it
way
out.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, basically, I've been listening to stuff that's been out since the early 2000s. Probably nothing new. Yeah,
I got you. I know. Well, there's so much stuff that's old that it's like it's hard to run out of stuff that's.
It is.
I mean, I don't want to be that way because I appreciate new music, and there's always good music coming. I'm putting out new music as much as I can, so I don't want to be like, that new music is terrible. Here's my new album.
Yeah. a local band. So my two favorite local acts would first of all be Mr. Tony MF and Purdue,
Oh, thank you,
who I want to
man.
come out and see you. I've been working nights, so I haven't been able to come out and see you, but I'm not
Yeah,
working nights anymore. Hopefully, so
working on
I
the
will come see you
railroad.
at some working on the rental car road. But so I like you, but there's also another local band called Camacho, which
Okay,
for
yeah,
my
I've heard
money
of them.
is the best live band
Cool,
in Huntsville, and for my money,
cool.
which is very
I've
little
heard
money
of them.
because I
I've
rent
not got.
cars. Yeah,
I
but
understand.
no, seriously, their showmanship. Their lead singer is a guy named Joe Canada, and he just has TS showmanship. And their guitar player is a guy
Nice.
named AC. God, why can't I remember his last name? Anyway,
DC.
his name's ACDC. No, his name's AC, but he is like phenomenally talented, and the
Hmm.
whole band's good. But those two guys, when you see like every now and then you see like two people that kind of like have completely different energy, but they like click together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They got it.
I
And I'm
got
not
you.
gonna, I did that
Hmm.
thing again. Uh, and they're from Decatur. They're from
Okay.
Decatur, but
Okay.
they play in Huntsville a lot.
It's
Can
funny.
anything good come out of Decatur?
Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to Jeremy Stevens the other day that I
Mm-hmm.
recorded his studio, and he's
Mm-hmm.
recorded a lot of people, and he's actually recorded them, and he was talking about them too.
Well, I think everybody's talking about them.
That's kind of what he was talking about. He
Yeah.
said that a lot of weird stuff comes out of Alabama. He's like, "What is?" Oh, and he was talking about people from Coleman. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are weird. You play
I
weird.
listened
I'm
to
like,
that one, and I was
yeah,
like, yes, we
yeah, this
are.
is true.
I mean,
It's
all you have
because
to know the you know how if you like dig a core sample of something to see what it's like, the
yeah,
core sample of Coleman would be Jason Green. Like if you
yeah,
take Jason Green came out of Coleman, and he like touches all the weirdness of like he touches all the
yeah.
weirdo Coleman stuff.
But it's also hard to explain to people not from there that there's sort of a handful of people that are like that they
Yeah,
sort of stand out, but like there's a
yeah.
lot of other people that are more your standard, like country types. So
Well, I think
it's
we're easier to notice in a place like Coleman, maybe.
maybe so.
But also,
I
like he
think.
said, I think from what I remember from that interview, that what else is there to do?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
true. Yeah,
yeah,
it's so true. I mean, that's like when we're at the train bridge. I brought my
yeah,
little boom box up there, and we're playing.
yeah. I mean, what else is there to do? So, like,
Yeah.
yeah. What's your next question, Tony? Come on,
My next
time's
question
money,
is,
buddy.
all right, this is really important. I need you to answer this properly.
Okay, hold on.
What it
I'm gonna get the right frame of mind. Hold on.
Okay, all right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
What is the greatest love of all?
Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. That's what
Okay.
Whitney Houston said.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on Southern. No, I'm just kidding.
No more podcasts need to be made. Is that
like
what she
how they
said? Was that the line?
Yeah,
Learning
yeah.
to love yourself. It
Yeah.
is the greatest love of all.
That's it. No, you got it, man. Like
Can you auto tune that? Because that was terrible.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna run it through like a like a bullhorn, like
A
Tom
flanger.
Waits, make a flanger.
I don't want to grow up. Yeah. Make it
Like
sound like Bone Machine.
Mike it in a dumpster
Yeah.
or something. He did. I think he did play some music or some of the sounds he did. I forget what album it is, but he ran strings across a dumpster
I would believe that.
and played it. Yeah, yeah.
I tell you what,
thought that
I'm
was pretty
always
creative.
like walking around where I work, like the parking garage, or like just through life, like I'll hit something or tap something, it'll make an interesting noise. I'm like, why don't I just record that and just make
Yeah,
because there's
totally.
so many interesting sounds out in the world.
I do the same
We should
thing.
do
Yeah.
that, Tony. Let's do that. Let's do an album of just us making noise out of garbage
Well,
and
and
singing
I've
over
done
it.
that because when I'm messed around with electronic stuff,
Yeah.
I've got an MPC, a lot of hip hop sample.
Yeah.
That's kind of where that hip hop sample thing came from.
Yeah.
And there's a song I've never released it, but I sampled a Kingfisher thermo scientific Kingfisher when I worked at the biomolecular lab. It's like a DNA extraction robot that
My God.
spins around. It makes all kinds of weird, crazy noises. I sampled it, and
does it
I
look
put
like the
together
Nintendo? Does it look like the Nintendo robot?
No,
That'd be pretty cool if it looked like that little Nintendo robot.
It would look cool. It looks more. I compare it more to like a sandwich machine that spins on like a rotating disc, but all the plates are in there.
Yeah.
And then it's got all
Like
the
an
little
automat.
wells.
Like an automat. Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but
That's what there's the old school kind of like where you went in and put a coin in and like flip a little sandwich around, you grab it out.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like that,
Yeah.
but it's like human bodily fluids that are in DNA. and stuff.
That's pretty cool. So you sampled that and put it in a song.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
I haven't released it, but yeah, it's all that crap, just like that. That's pretty much how it sounds. No, it actually.
Well, no need to release it now because we just heard it.
Yeah, it's a banger.
You just released it exclusive right here on the podcast.
What if I'm a chronic liar and I just made all that up and it's actually just me going?
What if your name's not even Tony Purdue?
What if I'm actually
It's been a
Gerald?
long con. It's been a long con. What's your next question, Tony?
Well, my name is Gerald Chevrolet. I was starting to say Gerald Ford, but I'm Gerald Chevrolet. My next question is, now this is another really important question.
Okay. All right, I'm getting the right frame of mind. Hold on.
Yeah. All right. Okay. In the song by Ace of Base, "The Sign," do you think they were talking about the apocalypse on that? Gotcha.
Why is that so funny? Why is that tickling me? I'm gonna say this. No. Which is weird for me because I'm obsessed with the end of the world. I'm obsessed with it. I grew up in fundamentalist Baptist churches, and I grew up in the 80s when the Russians were going to bomb us all the time. So I'm obsessed with the end of the world. I'm so obsessed with the end of the world when I was a kid. And you know how sometimes in the evening the light will be kind of weird and gold, like when the sun's setting, and it's not always like that. It's just like
the
that
golden
sometimes.
hour.
Yeah. Well, the golden hour happens every day, but like sometimes it's especially kind of weird. Like the light's kind of weird. At
the
sunset,
orange hour.
Yeah, the orange hour. I would think that the world was going to end. I'm like, well, this is it.
The
sky looks weird. The world's going to end. But so, talking about things like tickling me weirdly. The other day, we were driving around, and you know those. This is going to be the dumbest things you ever heard me say, Tony. You've heard me say some dumb things.
I can't wait.
Do you know? You know the Hunt Brothers pizzas.
Yeah, I do actually.
That they have. For some reason, I've got it in my head that I want to go around and I want to make as many of those as I can say Butt Brothers Pizza, which is not that funny. It's not even a joke. There's no joke other than this that has the word butt.
That's one of those things that is just funny to you, but you still want to do it. Like, yeah.
But I want to do it, and now if I do it, there'll be evidence that I was the one that did it on this podcast. But just the idea of somebody driving down the road and looking over and seeing Butt Brothers Pizza, it's funny to me. I don't know why.
Yeah, man. I remember those Hunt Brothers. I used to live right there in Berlin. Not Berlin.
No,
Berlin. That's what they call it in Coleman County.
Yes, they do.
On County Road 747. I bought a house there a long time ago and thinking, oh, this is a good deal on this house. And we moved in and I didn't even look across the road and realized once we moved in, there was a chicken house like directly across the road.
Which,
it
if you're not from
horrible.
Coleman, you don't know, what that means. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It means a stank. You're gonna have the stank.
No fun.
No fun. So anyway, to answer your question, no, it is not about the end of the world, but I do want to make Hunt Brothers pizza signs say Butt Brothers Pizza.
Okay. Well, I think we got to the heart of the matter.
Yeah, that's the heart of the matter.
That's your new art
what
project.
Was that? My girlfriend. We have breaking news. My girlfriend's breaking up with me because of this Butt Brothers Pizza thing.
That's unfortunate, but hey, you got to suffer for your art sometimes.
Yeah, I got to suffer for my art, I guess. I don't know.
That's right.
Wow. That was a joke, right? Was that a joke? It's 50-50 a joke. I'll go over there. After this podcast, I have to go over there and be sweet and see if I can
maybe sweeten the deal.
I'll sweeten the deal.
Well, let's talk about the golden mean.
I heard, Tony, that this podcast won the Denim Diaper Award.
The Denim Diaper Award. Yeah, I don't know why it's such a funny reference to me. It's not even really that funny, and I don't know if it's. I guess it's specifically funny to me and you, and that's like the only people.
Do we want to explain it, or do you just want to move on?
Man, I mean, how can you explain such a amazing topic like that? It was a band in the 90s at the Midsummer Jam.
Jam at Smith Lake Park on July
Yeah,
4th, 94,
something like that.
95.
Sounds about right. Somewhere around there.
And they were like a southern rock band. I think it's fair to say. And the only thing I remember about it at this point, what was the thing that the lead singer said? Oh, sorry, I've had a cold or something. He said something about like he apologized for his. I don't
Uh,
remember. I can't.
I
Maybe we
think
don't.
he said he was nervous or
Yeah,
something.
sorry,
Didn't
nervous. He goes, sorry, nervous. Like he, and then,
And then he
which I
went into
understand.
Black Flag's
Yeah,
nervous breakdown. That would
which
have
I
been cool.
get. I get being nervous. But the thing I remember is, I don't know if it was the bass player or the guitar player. He had the tiniest jorts on that I've
Yeah.
ever seen a man wear. And I
I
think he
don't
had
even
them
know
on
how
the.
he was breathing, man. Like it was just
Yeah,
cutting off the
look, you want to
circulation
talk
to
about
his
having
torso.
some gooch issues that day. That guy didn't have gooch issues. I don't know what's going on, but he was. It's the tiniest denim shorts I've ever seen
On a man.
on a man, and
Yeah.
so that's the denim dopper.
They
Basically,
really
looked like a dopper.
yeah, they were squeezing them twig and berries pretty rough. That poor fella. He was the bass player too.
He was the bass player. Okay, yeah.
I
Which
remember
bass
that
player,
much.
doesn't usually have like tiny jorts energy.
Usually they have like a giant
They would have
trucker
more of a
mustache.
junko. They have more junko energy. That's more bass player-y. Because I'm
Yeah.
primarily lead singer, but I have like delved into. I do have kind of some bass player energy, I think. But
Okay.
like, yeah, I think so.
We bring that Bolo energy. That's the important
Got the
thing.
Bolo energy now.
Bolo.
Be on the lookout for this.
Be on the lookout for the Bolo.
So, you got any other questions that are going to make my girlfriend angry at me, Tony?
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you, but this shouldn't. Hopefully, this
Yeah.
won't.
All right.
I was going to ask you to talk
We'll
about
get an update
comedy.
at the end of this episode whether my girlfriend's going to actually
Okay.
break up with me. All right,
Good.
is that okay?
Yeah.
Will you be ready to give that report, honey? She'll see what she can do.
All right. Cool. Well, I was going to ask you about the comedy test kitchen because I know you do that.
Comedy test kitchen, yeah.
Yeah. You heard of that one?
Yeah, I have heard about it. So I almost wore. So we were thrift shopping the other day, and we found a chef's jacket,
Oh,
which
man.
I have not earned. But I'm gonna wear it at the next comedy test kitchen. I almost wore it tonight.
Gerald Chevron says that you've earned it.
Oh, thank you, Gerald Chevron. No, comedy test kitchen. It happens the first Saturday of the month at Shenanigans Comedy Theater, and it's just an experimental show. We didn't have it in November because I had COVID, and then I was gonna like Skype in my my bit, and my friend Justin Ludlow who's now a co-producer on that show. He was going to Ledlow. I always say Ludlow, but his name's Ledlow. Justin Ledlow. He was going to host it, and then he got COVID. Not for me because I haven't seen him in like weeks, but I hadn't seen him since the previous Comedy Test Kitchen. Yeah, so we both had COVID. So COVID killed Comedy Test Kitchen for November, but should be back in December. On December, it's the third. It's a Saturday. December. What is it? The 2nd. December 2nd.
Okay.
That's not this Saturday, is it? Oh, thank goodness.
No,
yeah.
It ain't this Saturday.
I'm producing the show, and I'm like, oh boy, that's not this Saturday, is it? Oh
yeah,
boy,
no,
I have something ready.
That's me.
It's the kind of show where you can go, oh boy, is that tomorrow? Okay, and I'll whip something up because basically what it is the way I like to describe it to people is that stand-ups have open mics, improvisers have, which I've done stand-up, but I'm mainly an improviser. Improvisers have jams and stuff that they do in rehearsals. But if you want to do sketch, you want to do weird character stuff, or you want to do like Justin Ledlow did the last test kitchen, and you want to explain Far Side cartoons, and then give fake trivia about the life of Gary Larson in a slideshow format. There's nowhere to. There's really nowhere to do that.
That's surprising. So, there's no other venue for that.
There's really no slideshow based shows here. other than at businesses, business meetings and things. So, and they really don't like it when you do bits instead
Yeah,
of like talking about business. So,
I've found that to be true.
yes. So, that's what this is. So, like, if you want to do weird character thing, we've had people do, sketches. We've had people do weird like game shows. Uh, there was like a 30-minute, a 30-second play about the Dust Bowl one
Oh
time.
man.
All kinds of stuff. So it's just this, it's just this. Uh, there's a gentleman who's been in every comedy test kitchen. His name is Eric Eckstein. He's from
Okay.
Elkton, I think. He's from Elkmont. I think he's from Elkmont,
Okay.
Alabama.
Cool.
Beautiful human being. Tells the funniest stories. He just comes up with his notebook. He sits down in a chair and he just tells these stories about things that have happened to him, primarily at work. I've noticed that most of these stories happen at work. He worked at Walmart and he was a nurse and is a nurse, I think. And so all these stories, he has a lot of good. He got a lot of good material at Walmart, but it's not really stand up, but it's really funny. And like he's so funny that we make him go last. Like nobody follows him.
Okay.
In fact, the first time we did Test Kitchen, my friend Matt Carter and we had a bit we were going to do at the end. But when he went, we just called the show. We're like, I'm not following that.
Okay.
So Eric Eckstein is this beautiful, funny human being. Genuine. You love him. Like he's genuine. He's absolutely Alabama. He's genuine.
It's like following a Kiss if you're in a classic rock
yes,
band.
I'm not gonna. We're not gonna follow. You wanted the best. You got the best.
The hottest.
Yeah, the hottest
storyteller
in the land.
Well, I think that like there's a certain kind of comedy, like I think of it like Mark Twain humorist, where it's sort of like, hey, I'm not really telling jokes, but I'm kind of making funny
I think
situations
that he says all the time,
and stories.
Now, I think that he says a lot when he tells. Now this is real, y'all. I'm telling you. Like I don't.
This is real.
He'll go. I don't want to say this next part. I don't want to say this next part, but this is what happened.
This is what...
And he'll tell you, and it's really fun. I mean, he's just really
That's
funny.
his, you might be a redneck.
You might be. I don't want to say this next part, but this really happened. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
He's really funny.
Good.
And the thing that he's told me multiple times is how welcome he feels there and how safe he feels there.
That's cool.
And because a lot of performers have anxiety, and you wouldn't know it to watch them perform. But it's very common for performers to have anxiety about performing because they do it kind of because they want to do it, like they have to do it. And then, like apparently, Johnny Carson was just like incredibly shy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Apparently, it was. Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah, but like, so. Anyway, so you never know, and so to be able to provide a safe place for people to feel comfortable to do weird stuff that they want to do that they're into, and Comedy Test Kitchen is
within
really
the legal limits, right?
Yeah, we have we don't say, we say few holds barred. At comedy, basically, no racism, homophobia, transphobia, all that stuff, none of that.
Yeah.
No nudity. And
well, I'm out then.
Yeah, you're out. And you can't. That's why we've never had the murder junkies come and play, because the drummer doesn't wear clothes.
I assume they would be opening, but I guess I know why.
No, yeah, and then you can't touch the wall. We have this wall at the back of the stage that's a projector that we use as a projection screen.
Okay.
Kim Wilson, who would be a good guest for this podcast, by the way. Kim Wilson, she will kill you.
Okay.
Probably. I mean, she'll be very angry if you touch that wall.
Okay.
So, like, those are our only rules, is all that in the don't touch the effing wall. That's what we say. The
good dressing down, is that what they call it?
Yeah, she's a teacher.
Oh, okay.
And I'm intimidated by teachers.
I was going to say, teachers are good at I'm not getting on to you.
If she says do something, I do it. If she says don't do something, I don't do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's worked out well.
I totally understand why she wouldn't want people to touch the wall, but it kind of sounds like just you can do anything but touch that wall, anything but eat the fruit from that tree.
Yeah.
Come
So
on,
makes
just
you want
this
to touch.
one time.
But no, the
Yeah.
way I say it, and then when she's usually there running the board, and when people look over her, she nods. They know that it's not. It's no joke.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
You don't touch that wall. Yeah.
Yeah, I could understand
Yeah.
that. But
Yep.
but let me tell you, I am always glad to be talking to you.
Oh my
You know,
goodness, Tony.
I actually had a question on here asking if you were a Bolo man now, and you came on like rocking the Bolo. Like,
Did you really have a question if I was
I
a Bolo
really
man?
did.
Oh
I
my
really
goodness.
did. Yeah,
Well,
this has
yes,
been a very
I guess I am.
Bolo centric
I didn't know I was.
podcast.
Are we at the end of the podcast now? Because it sounds like you're kind of wrapping up.
No, man, that's just my brain shutting down, but we still got a little way to go.
Well, we should probably end if your brain's shutting down.
It's still got a few sparks left in there.
All right,
yeah,
let's burn it out.
Yeah, burn it.
It's better to burn out than to fade away. That's what I heard.
That's right. Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Are you still mad about the Nicene Creed not being printed on Starbucks cups? 'Cause I'm pretty angry.
Furious about it. Yeah, I made that. So I don't have, like, I will reshare old Facebook statuses if I think they're funny. And that was an old Facebook status I had when all the people were upset about Starbucks cups saying Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas. So I was just
LOL'd, man, when I saw
thank you. So I just said I went to this Red Cup Day, I think.
Yeah.
When they released the holiday cups, and I was like, I'm at my local Starbucks, and the cups, the quote holiday cups don't have the Nicene Creed printed on them, and I am all caps furious.
Yeah, it was funny because you made it so specific to
that's my brand of comedy. It's very specific.
Specific, yeah.
Specificity.
People outraged.
I think my friend John Hodgman said specificity is the heart of narrative.
Okay.
I don't know what any of those words mean.
That's a good way to say it. Yeah, it sounds really important with those words together.
Yeah, I don't know what any of those words mean because he's really smart.
I'm pretty enraged that they don't have Creed lyrics on there. That's what I was hoping for. I mean, that's
so it'd be like a little holidays, like a little snowflake, and it'd say "with arms wide open."
Yeah. Exactly.
Those are the only Creed lyrics I know is "with arms wide open."
I want this Americano Grande, and then you look at this. I just heard the news today, and all that stuff.
Is it written out phonetically?
Yeah, phonetically, it's not actually. It's like Klingon language, similar. I'm pretty sure that
Klingon. I want there to be some stuff about Kalis' birthday on. Want some Klingon stuff on there.
Kalis, that's right. I need some Klingon lore on my Starbucks cup.
Little Klingon lore. Little batleth.
Man.
Little mixing spoon looks like a batleth. That's what I want. It's some deep nerd stuff now.
Well, I want to dumb it down a little bit right here. And
all right, I'm going to dumb it down. I'm going to unbutton my jacket and dumb it down a little bit.
Oh, man, yeah.
Because about this time when you're watching this, I'm probably full of turkey. And I have to unbutton my jacket. I'm not going to wear a jacket on Friday unless I'm requested to.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should just do the Billy Idol thing, wear the jacket with no shirt or like a leather vest.
I don't know that that's going to... I don't know that I'd be allowed to wear a jacket with no shirt in this house.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting a no. I'm getting told no. That's not going to happen.
I got you. Well, it's worth the try.
It is worth the try.
Well, like I say, I want to kind of take this a little more lowbrow now, but
because it's been so intellectual up to this point.
I know. I mean, we've really been solving a lot of problems of the world.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to ask you, this is pretty serious right here.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever taken like a palette and made another palette out of it to sort of signify the birth and death of life? You know, kind of like Shiva in the Hinduism tradition.
I've never done that, Tony Purdue, but I can see what you're going for. I see what you're going for with that.
Yeah.
It's all the same thing. Alan Watts says it's all a wave. Light and dark, life and death. It's all a wave. It's all like a light.
Ebony and ivory.
Ivory. That's all I got. Yeah, I buy into that. It's all a wave, man.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, how it's sort of like the organic matter of death creates life.
It's all the same stuff. I just think there's just
Yeah.
there's like one thing and it's all the same stuff. Yeah.
It's just that energy getting transferred around and stuff.
That's what I say. What was that
Pretty
move? I
wild.
don't know what that is. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm
Me
getting to know about that too. I'm getting a lot of notes. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm getting a lot of notes from across the
Notes
room.
from your producer.
Yeah,
up
my
there.
producer, Erin, who I dearly love. Oh my goodness,
Oh.
she's so cute, Tony.
Well, that's good, man. I'm
Is
glad
that working?
for
Is that
you.
helping? She's so.
Yeah.
It's true. No, you're really cute. So just let me know when we get to the end of this, so I can find out whether or not we're gonna reveal whether or not my girlfriend's gonna actually break up with me at the end
All
of
right.
the podcast.
Well, that's good to know. Well,
Yeah, that's exciting. You can pitch that.
it is.
For
It's
sweeps,
like a
for podcast sweeps
for
week.
sweeps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Well, it's not. You'll find out at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I'm having to wait right now, though. So
Wait, don't tell me.
wait, don't tell me.
Yeah.
Wait, don't.
Wait, do tell me is what this is going to be at the end.
Do tell me.
Yeah.
Well, what's your favorite horror movie besides Paul Blart Male Cop? Male Cop. I got the joke wrong.
Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Mall Cop.
I will tell you that's
let's make it Male Cop. That's going to be like the sequel.
That's one of my favorite movies to make jokes about.
It's
in a
just
weird way,
something.
because it's such a.
It sounds weird.
It's kind of like it's the new Ishtar. Like you used to make jokes about Ishtar, but now it's Paul Blart Mall Cop. Because I remember one time I named a year. I was like, it's weird to realize that children born in this year have never known a world without Paul Blart Mall Cop. That's the year it came out.
Sad existence.
But sometimes I will make a joke, and again, here's the thing: all movies are hard to make. They're really hard to make. Somebody wrote that movie and produced it, and they worked really long hours. There's some level on which it's kind of mean to like crap all over a movie in a way because it was hard to make. But having said all that, I really enjoy making fun of Paul Blart Mall Cop just because what a title. It's a fun title. It's fun to even say those words. The title is
funny. Yeah, it's a funny title.
It's fun to say that. I've never seen it. So I really can't speak to the quality of it, but but come on, it's got to be terrible, right?
Yeah,
but anyway, but Paul Blart Mall Cop. So what was your question? My favorite horror movie besides that?
Yeah.
Oh my wow. That's the thing I just said.
Wow.
I think I'm having a stroke.
Yeah, I think I may be too. This will at least be documented.
That would be a pretty exciting episode where we both have strokes.
Would be.
Let's see here. So I'll tell you this. So it's just as far as like horror movies that stuck in my psyche.
Mm-hmm.
Like in a horror movie I've actually had nightmares about before. And just the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really into gore, and there's really not like a ton of gore. Really, if you break it down compared to a lot of other of those like slasher movies, there's not a ton of like gore in that. But it's the way it's shot, just like matter of factly, like when this is spoiler warning for a movie that's been out since the 70s. The first time that somebody gets so this guy is just the first kill in that movie. There's no music. From what I remember, there's no like creepy music. There's no foreshadowing. This guy just walks in this house, this seemingly abandoned house, and then like this door opens and Leatherface comes out like fully like Leatherfaced up, hits him in the head with a hammer, drags him through a door, slams this metal door, and that is it. And the camera just like watches it like a news camera, just like and it's like broad daylight, and it's like. You just see the whole thing. There's one shot, I think, from what I remember.
I think so, yeah.
And it's just like, you're like, what? Just like, what happened? And if you ever read anything about the making of that movie, like it was just like disgusting. Like everything stunk, and it was in Texas in the summer, and everything was hot.
Nice.
And it was apparently horrific making that movie. But I've had like actual nightmares about that movie. I think Psycho's pretty classic. Like I couldn't wait until my kids were old enough to watch Psycho, because it's pretty neat when the twist happens when you realize this is not what this movie is. What you think this movie is about is not what this movie is about.
I was just thinking, I'd really like to do a movie called Latherface, and it's about this guy that's just shampooing his hair, and he gets like lather in his eyes, and he can't see, and he's like screaming. And he starts running around, but people think he's mad, and they start attacking him, but he's just trying to wash off the
You should
lather
shoot
out of his
that,
eyes.
Tony.
Yeah,
You should kickstart that.
I
I
think
donate.
so.
I
I think
donate
so.
that $5, that 5 cents I have left over after the movie, and a Coke and a moon,
Heck yeah.
RC and a moon
Well,
pie.
I
So, but then,
appreciate that.
but a recent horror movie I saw that I thought was pretty good was this movie called Barbarian. I think it's on Netflix right now. Maybe I saw it
Okay,
at the movies.
I've not seen the movie, but I have
Yeah.
seen it
So it was
advertised.
directed. I don't remember the gentleman's name that directed it, but he was in this sketch comedy group called The Whitest Kids You Know.
Okay.
And I think so. Having watched that movie and having watched some of Jordan Peele's movies, there's
Yeah.
something about sketch comedy guys. They make good horror movies, or at least
I
those two
think
guys
you're right.
do. Because there's some
Yeah.
similar. I don't. What was that?
That was
What
very
just happened? Did you do that?
festive. No, I didn't do that.
No, something happened on the screen here.
I saw
That was
saw
really
it.
weird.
Yeah, that was
You must have
interesting.
done that. You had
No,
to
I
have done that.
I swear I didn't.
Not you. Talking to Tony.
I really didn't do that.
Contractually, I have an air horn clause that you have to be an
That's
air
right.
horn and everything.
So
I
I
do.
hit it just for that.
Let me.
And
I want to tell you one more thing. The funny thing about air horns in just a minute.
all right.
But before we go, so yeah, Barbarian. It's kind of flawed. Like, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. I was genuinely engaged, and it's got some genuinely funny stuff in it and some disturbing stuff in it. But I liked it all right. And it's not like super gory, you know. I don't like, the older I get, the less I like seeing people eviscerated and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't
But,
know what that's about.
I don't know.
man.
It's just called empathy, I think is what it is.
Empathy.
But yeah. So anyway, I mean, classic. I mean, probably the one that actually scared me the most, and it's just kind of just weird. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is hard to beat,
Yeah,
and then Psycho is, for like something a little more psychological, is pretty good. And but there's actually some pretty good horror movies out there. But
oh yeah.
but then
I
Barbarian's a
definitely-
pretty good recent
Okay.
installment into the
Have to check it out. And like kind of what you were
Tradition.
saying about comedians
Mhm.
or sketch comedy people. Is that what you said?
yes,
It's kind of
specifically
like
sketch
they
comedy
have that
people.
darkness and light, like they
Mhm.
kind of understand because so many comedians are dark too.
Well, they understand
guess.
structure too.
Yeah, well, that's
You understand structure, and they understand like payoff, and like they understand like premise, development, payoff.
true. Yeah,
And a lot of times, especially like kind of an artsy movie, and some people it's fine when it doesn't really. Sometimes it doesn't bother me when things are kind of the structures where, like, I was watching this series. I'm kind of way behind on, getting on the boat on it, but there was a series called High Maintenance on HBO that was the premise was this guy rides around on a bike and sells weed in New York. So I was like,
Okay.
I don't know if I want to watch this. But I got
yeah.
bored one day and I started watching it, and it's actually a pretty good series because what it is,
Okay.
it's just an anthology about almost ordinary people. They're all a little quirky in some way, usually in New York, and this guy's kind of the thread between. That's kind of like sometimes the episodes are a lot about him, sometimes he's barely in them, but he's kind of like the thread that connects all these people. These are all people that he sells weed to, basically.
Okay.
But the stories aren't really about that. Usually, they're just about like they're almost like vignettes. Like each one's like kind of a little movie or something, and this guy
So
just
it's-
happens to connect them. Like a
That's like
Twilight
the
Zone without the creepy
delivery
stuff.
device.
Yes,
It's the outer
the
shell
delivery
of the
device. It's
story.
the shell, yeah.
Like
So-
me as a vegetarian with like patties and
Yes,
it's just
the
a
pat-
delivery
the-
device.
It's a delivery device, yeah. But the point I was making is sometimes I like that when there's not, because sometimes those episodes would just kind of end and they didn't really have like a tight narrative. And if that's done well and the acting's good and the writing's good and it's atmospheric, I kind of like that. But a lot of times, like, it's where people will try and do something about artsy, like
Yeah.
it just won't pay off, or it'll be like
Oh yeah.
lopsided or something. I mean, these guys, like these sketch guys, like they know how to, they get structure.
Yeah.
And so this thing had really great structure, and they get surprised too. Like there's some good surprises in that movie Barbarian, that things that happen. You're just like, what's happening? But they pay it off. Like it's not just random. The end, it kind of fell apart a little bit at the end for me. Like it got a little silly or whatever. But I don't know. The acting's good, and most of it's good. It's mostly good.
It's like pay it forward. It's like a horror movie where they just go in the Starbucks drive-through and everybody keeps paying for each other.
It
in
never
a never-ending
ends.
loop. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you realize
But
that you're back in the line and you don't even know how you got back in the line. Yeah. We should write that movie, Tony.
I think it's already a movie with Kevin Spacey, but pay it backwards.
Yeah. Pay it backwards.
Yeah, man. Well,
it takes place at a Hardee's.
At a Hardee's, yeah.
Play it backwards at 5 a.m.
Yeah, it couldn't be like Starbucks is too fancy. It would need to be like Jack's or something.
That's
for
right.
Sure.
It takes place at a Jack's. That's hyper local. Get a bologna biscuit.
Bologna.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Well, hey, I think this has been good. I like to.
I'll save my air horn story for the next time I'm on. How about that?
Oh, you got an air. Oh, yeah. You want to say it?
What's real quick?
Okay.
So, as you know, my oldest child's name is Aaron.
Yeah.
I pronounce it as Aaron, Aaron.
Okay.
My girlfriend's name is Erin, Erin.
Yeah.
So we were trying to think of how we differentiate, and she's trying to. She is interested in linguistics, and she can pronounce words. Tony Purdue, this woman can pronounce words like nobody's business.
Okay.
It's like this woman, she speaks Old English to me, and I'm just like, I just that's what I'm into. So
linguistics,
but she's real good at it. I'm not good at it. I barely speak English. So so she looked up the original Hebrew pronunciation of Aaron, because hers is Irish, because he's very, very Irish.
I was gonna say the E. That's definitely Irish.
I think it literally means means Ireland.
Ireland. Yeah, Ireland.
So and then his is of Hebrew origin, because I got it from the Bible.
Yeah.
So I was very religious when he was born. But so the Hebrew pronunciation is Erchan.
Okay.
Or whatever. And as soon as she said that, my Alabama went, that sounds like air horn. So we decided that I'm going to call them air horns when I'm talking about in conversation. That way I mentioned this to them the other day, and they were fine with it. They thought it was really cool.
I like it.
Called air horn. So,
I like it.
So next time you see them, have you known my oldest since they were a baby?
Yeah.
The next time you see them, just call them air horn and watch them light up.
And they're so, I mean, they're their own people, of course, but they're so their sense of humor. I see both of them posting stuff.
Oh, they're
just hilarious.
My kids are so funny. Aaron and Alex, they're so funny. They're so funny. And you could see. I mean, the acorns don't fall far from the tree.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a good analogy. I'm glad you had one. I was like, because it's like and then my brain locked up.
Would you like to find out whether my girlfriend's going to break up with me or not?
I would.
Here's the reveal.
Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Hold on. Wait.
So you got it ready. So for whatever it is.
All right.
So.
Oh, wait. Well, okay. Sorry. My my machine was about to explode.
Okay. So, honey, what's the verdict? Not at this time.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Cool.
You heard it here first.
That's good. I'm glad.
It's going to be a happy Thanksgiving.
That's
here
right.
in South Huntsville.
That's right. All the stuffings and fixings.
Yep.
It's going to be good. Well, heck, man.
Tear it up.
That's right. Well, it's always Tony, good to talk to you.
Oh, my goodness. You know I love you. My goodness,
we would
like
be
one of
having,
my favorite people.
Love you too, man. And we'd be having this conversation.
If there was
otherwise,
nobody listening, it would be almost exactly like this.
I just hit record. That's the only difference.
That's the only difference, yeah.
When I hear record now, I still think about all those tape recordings we did when we first started playing music. And
are we recording?
Are we recording?
That's the first thing that would be on every recording. Are we recording? Yeah. Good like times.
It's like in broadcast, that tone at the very beginning of it.
to
test your system with.
Yeah.
Are we recording?
Okay. All right.
That adjusted. But yeah, man.
All righty, man.
thanks for being on. Oh, I was going to ask, of course, if there's any way, what's the best way for somebody to find out more about what you got going on?
Yeah, just like Instagram, like at InstaSims, and then Comedy Test Kitchen has its own Instagram now. It's at. Oh, I hope it's. Let me see what it is. Can you give me a second? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm
so
pretty
bad.
sure it is Comedy Test Kitchen.
Yeah, I'm so bad. I'm surely there's not another Comedy Test Kitchen, so surely it is. Hold on one second. This is you can edit this. So it is. Yeah, it is comedy. It's comedy. It's right there.
Okay, cool.
It's Comedy Test Kitchen.
Perfect.
I have 57 followers, big time. It's Comedy Test Kitchen, and then I'm on Blue Sky. Jason Sims on Blue Sky.
Heinz 57 had to start somewhere. They had to start with 57.
They were Heinz 1 when they started.
Uno. That's right. So,
all right,
Heinz.
Tony, thank you so much for having me on again.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, thanks everybody for listening and watching these beautiful popping. If you're listening to the podcast, I feel sorry for you because me and Jason look good
so
today.
Handsome. Oh my God, we look so good.
I got the popping Miami Vice blue. Jason's got the classy like gray with the Bolo.
No, it's pretty great.
I'm going to just start the very first question and be like, who are you wearing? Leatherface. Well, actually, it's the gym.
If no one's ever done a sketch where Leatherface shows up at a red carpet and they ask, who are you wearing? And he tells them the name of the person that he's wearing. That's a good sketch. I did it again. I got to stop doing that.
I know. Well, and that reminded me of the other episode I did with Lyle. A guy used to be my roommate. We lived in a house together, and also we played in Ghost Wolves.
He seemed like a cool dude. Yeah.
He's a really cool guy, and we were in his room. He's really into like Freddy Krueger and like some of the horror stuff, and we were sitting on his couch doing that interview.
Yeah,
and he started laughing because he was like right in his eye line is like his like dead skin mask replica, like
of the leather face,
or whatever.
It's pretty good.
He was like, it's hard to take you seriously when like I've heard it before, but anyway, one thing leads to another. Well, man, thank you for doing it. And
we did it.
Hey, thanks everybody for listening. And stick around. I got some gigs coming up with my band. I got solo gigs. Tony Purdue, a lot of them in Huntsville at the old Voodoo Lounge. And then I've got a few with the full band, Team FP band, coming up. So y'all come out and listen to it if you like some weird dark rockabilly, or we might just do a little polka, and if we take a notion. And then anyway, thank y'all so much, and we'll see you next time.